One of the big things that we talk about, especially now in the more modern age of dating, is how women they say they want a man, but they don't need a man. And they'll say this in different ways, or they'll act it out in different ways, right? Like women will get full on careers. They'll do lots of things in order to avoid being saddled with the faithful beta, right? Um, Women will go great lengths to not have to deal with that, to at least in their perspective, right? Um, we've seen women go to universities and get college degrees just so they don't have to depend off men, right? Um, we've seen them go into certain careers or industries that are bad for them, you know, or whether it be a corporate career or an adult film industry, in order to avoid depending on men, right? They'd rather put their lives through the ringer and their mental health through the ringer than settle down with the average guy, right? Um, so the usually the red pill discussion ends there, right? Like women would rather um work, get go into debt, make do all these things instead of be with the average guy, right? Because that's their biggest fear is to be with the guy that they settled for, right? Until they get to that certain age where they're just like, crap, I got to settle down now, so anyone will do, right? But while they're in their best years, their peak years, they wouldn't be caught dead, um, trying to saddle with an average guy, unless there was a lot of societal or religious pressure, or they did it with a guy that really was there since they wanted. They don't know anything else, whatever reason, right? But for the most part, um, yeah, that's what's going on. But the red pill discussion stops there. Hey, we got Chad Elkins in the chat. How you doing, sir? Nice to see you. Now another busy tax season, I presume. Um, but yes, uh, so the step beyond this, right, is like how are women going about relationships now that no guy is seemingly good enough for them, right? They always have that, it's just a paradox of choice. What if this guy's not the one? What if there's another guy waiting for me, right? And now women are bombarded with thousands of messages per month, and thousands of tokens of attention, whether it be a simple like, a couple hundred views on a video or picture showing skin and all that, right? Or it could be just a compliment, being approached, an extra long stare from a guy from the gym. It's damn near constant, right? Extra attention from coworkers, and it's to the point where women, one of the biggest complaints I hear women about dating apps, whether it be true or not, is that it's just too much. It's too much matches, too much messages, too much attention, right? Wow, it's like what a problem to have, right? But uh, essentially, what ends up happening is that women eventually kind of picked up that there is no urgency for them, right? At least that's what they think. That they have so much abundance that there is no reason for them to think that they can't get the guy they want, because there's just simply so much choice and so much power and so much guys throwing themselves at them, right? So they never feel like it's ever going to be over. They just have so much. The sad part of this is that women notice really small changes in their life, especially attention from men, right? So if a girl's getting 100% attention until she's 27, and then when she's 28 and 29 and 30, that 5% less attention is really, it's very noticeable for her, right? So let's say in my life, let's say a girl goes to salsa or bachata night every Friday or Wednesday, and when she goes to the bachata night or something, she notices that over the last 2 years, she's not asked to dance as much, right? Like maybe one dance, she dances with one guy less, right? Guys are they go for the younger, the new girl, whatever, right? And maybe she's like, whatever, like maybe it's for the best because I'm tired. And then she realizes that guys are not buying her less drinks, right? But very gradual, right? And then she notices that maybe her young friend that she met at work is having guys do crazy things for her, but not there's no guy trying to do crazy thing like fly her out or anything like that. Like she's just she's kind of in this like, wait a minute, I'm not getting what I need, and like I'm not getting the same, even though she's still getting an amazing amount of attention. She's slowly realizing it's like 5 or 10% less than it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, right? So what ends up happening is that women get a little worried. They're just like, fuck, well, what do I do? Like, I have to do something, right? So they got to follow their feelings. So they just say it. They just say, hey, I am worthy of more attention. And it doesn't matter if I'm getting old, right? And they just say that when women say that, it's basically they're saying the opposite is true, right? Like, I am getting old and I'm getting less attention. So, and women don't handle that well at all. At any level, whether it be your local girl that and her maybe getting bitchy and angry that no guy has, shacked up or locked her down yet, or maybe it's like Britney Spears, who went from being one of the most known and desired and prolific artists of our time to being a wacko now that dances around in circles on Instagram, and no one cares to be like, hey, like, you should go to therapy, you shouldn't be doing this. Women don't handle that decrease in attention very well. They have to jump through a lot of hoops, and it doesn't affect them well, right?